Hello and welcome to this episode of Cosmic Crow Tarot, where today we're going to be talking about the cards connected to the number 5. Now, in numerology, we only think about the numbers 1 through 9. So, 5 is right in the between. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 6, 7, 8, 9. It's that simple. That's why it's the halfway point of the whole numerical sequence. Even when I think I have numerology figured out a little bit. Even if you go up into the millions and then you add all those numbers together, you're still going to get a single digit. And that's why we only do 1 through 9. So I've got the little dice here with the little 5s. We're going to talk about the tarot cards connected to those change and transformative energy of 5. Because again, halfway point, things have gone on before. That knowledge and everything that you have learned is going to be with you as you move forward and transform your life for the better. The first card we're going to talk about is the 5 of the major arcana, the Hierophant. Now, this card is often considered, and you can tell from the illustration, it's very much a card about structured religion. I'm personally not a huge fan of that meaning. I'll be completely honest with you. That's very much hundreds of years ago focused on that. But in America, especially, you have freedom of religion and you can follow whatever feels right to you. That's why I call this the teacher card. All that experience of your past, all the experience of the people that came before you, those religions, that knowledge and everything, like the illustration shows, all of that is within you. You have that knowledge. That knowledge can be your teacher, and you can take that knowledge, not only teaching you yourself what you need, but teaching others in the process, and then being able to change and transform your life for the better. So you have that knowledge, and that knowledge from those 1, 2, 3, 4, the beginnings that you had in the past, the choices that you've made, what you've created, and those strong foundations under your belt that we've talked about prior to this one. It shows all of that wisdom and everything that's with you to give you that step, so you can take that knowledge and, transform your life into the one that you want to live. Now, astrological correspondence to the Hierophant is Taurus, and you think May. May is when Taurus is in really full bloom. That's spring and everything. So you have that energy of Taurus connected to it in May, and that's the 5th month of the year. So it's all connected to that 5 energy. And you have that knowledge and wisdom of the months that come before, the knowledge and wisdom that comes from life before this exact moment. And it's that knowledge and wisdom that gives you what you need to transform your life for the better. Now, the other major arcana card connected to the energy of the Hierophant is Temperance. And this is a personal thing for me, and I just think this is so cool because these cards are really connected. Temperance is 14, so 1 and 4 equals 5, which connects it back to the Hierophant. The Hierophant's astrology connected to Taurus. The Temperance card is astrology connected to Sagittarius. 2 completely opposing energies. That's my husband's sun sign. That's my sun sign. So, they go together so well. But Temperance, you can see literally in the illustration, you have that higher power, that energy, that experience from the past. It's the angel, the archangel, I believe. I don't know which one it is, but you showed that experience, all that wisdom thing is what she or he, they are pouring into that other cup. They have that wisdom and everything that they've accrued from the numbers that have come before, from the experiences that come before. And that's what makes this the alchemist card of the tarot. That's what gives us the ability, the Sagittarius energy, to shoot for the stars, to remain optimistic because you've learned from those experiences of the past. You've applied that knowledge to the here and now so that you can change and transform your life for the better. 1 and 4 equals 5, Magician and Emperor. Begin seeing yourself as that strong foundation by learning from those experiences of the past, and then start the sequence. Start that sequence again. Take that knowledge and wisdom and change and transform your life by taking that knowledge, that wisdom, that stuff that has taught you more than you knew when you began, and apply it to the next chapter, and you're going to be able to transform your life into the one you truly want to live. Those are just the major arcana cards connected to the energy of 5. There's a lot more cards of the tarot. These are the 2 connected to the major arcana, to the energy of 5. I already said that. But you've got the keys and everything in the Hierophant. Those keys show that experience of the past, or the keys to changing your life for the better. The angel wings. You've risen above those experiences of the past. You've learned from them. You're enlightened by those experiences. And you're going to find that sun is going to rise again. You're going to learn from those emotions, and you're going to take what you've learned and transform your life. Okay, we're going to move on to the minor arcana now. I'm going to set these 2 cards right over here like this. And we'll speak about the members of the minor arcana cards that connect to the energy of 5. Now, these are in no particular order, but you can tell from these illustrations, and Rider Waite Smith is like one of the best decks to learn with. If you are just beginning and if you want to learn the cards, like Rider Waite Smith, the illustrations just tell the entire story. And all of the fives of the minor arcana, I'm going to set these over a little bit more. Yeah, you can still kind of see them. But all of the fives of the minor arcana are rather negative. Take the Five of Cups, for example. See the two cups behind? He's not even paying any attention to them. The sky is gray. Everything's sad, depressing, focused on what's been lost. Instead of letting that experience be the teacher, instead of letting those experiences be applied to the next chapter to be able to change and transform the life, he's not able to look and see what still remains. He can't see that 6, 7, 8, 9 that is still waiting because he's still focused on the sadness of the 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the energy. Like, it's a very somber energy when it comes to the minor arcana, at least before we meet the court cards, because it's all just kind of focused on the negativity. Five of Pentacles, you see they're down on their luck. They're financially unsuccessful. They're walking past this. They don't see the hope and potential that remains in that church window, showing that the teacher's inside of there, just like we talked about with the Hierophant over here. Those experiences from our own past and those experiences of the ones that have come before us, they might be able to help us change and transform our lives. And we have to get out of that negative mindset, which moves us over to the Five of Swords. Again, negative, very, very often negative. I call this the victor or victim card, which means that you could totally be that person, that's winning right here. Or you might be the person that's on the losing side of that, the victim of the story. And you've lost your swords to this dude, and you just feel like, 1, 2, 3, 4, all of those experiences of the past had me as a victim. So all of the future experiences, I'm going to be a victim as well. So even if you're like down in that mindset right here, you're not being successful right now, all the bills are coming out, all the money's coming out, you don't know where to turn, all of that can be behind you when you're able to look away from the sadness, when you focus on the positive and you change that mindset. The Five of Wands is a little bit different here. Like, it's a card of immaturity. It's the experiences other people, other people had those 1, 2, 3, 4 experiences, just as you've had that 1, 2, 3, 4 experience. You want to change and transform your life for the better, but so do these people. So it can be a conflict of interest. It could be other people, trying to be the winner here instead of trying to be the victor. It can be people trying to get their leg up and not feel like they're down on their luck so much. And it can be people that are trying to look away or look towards, the future, trying to be full of potential, full of happiness and everything, and looking away from the sadness that might conflict with your own ideas, because we're all just human. We're all trying to transform our lives. We're all trying to make our lives better, perhaps. So when we change those mindsets, which relates most to that Five of Swords, and start seeing ourselves as the victor of our stories instead of the victims, then we can fight for what we believe in. We can leave that immaturity behind. We can turn away from the sadness, those 1, 2, 3, 4 experiences, and we can start moving forward to the 6, 7, 8, 9s, so that we can transform our lives, taking that wisdom and everything that we've accrued to change and transform our lives for the better. Now, the fives of the tarot, the fives of the minor arcana, connect to the fixed signs of the zodiac, as well as the court cards for that matter. And I have videos on those as well if you want to check out all the different sign or cards related to the zodiac signs, all the cards related to the planets. There's an entire playlist for that if you want to learn that information and check that out. But like the Five of Cups, he sits right in the middle of this zodiac sign of Scorpio. So this would be November 1st to November 10th or 11th. This one is the Five of Pentacles, so it's very much the fixed earth sign of the zodiac. So, earthy signs, earthy relates to Pentacles. And so it sits right at that middle sign of Taurus, or the beginning sign of Taurus. And I just realized I completely balled that up. It's not the second one. It's not in the middle. It's the first one. Like, this is the first decan of Scorpio. So we're looking at the right after Libra season ends. So October 20th to October 31st. Then you have the Taurus one that begins Taurus right after Aries season. And I made up this like little saying the other day, you focused on your passion, the Two of Wands, the Three of Wands, and the Four of Wands connect to Aries. So you focused on that passion, you let it lead, you created a strong foundation with it, maybe even got married. Ooh, and then you find yourself down on your luck because you put all that money and everything into that strong foundation you're passionate about. which leads you to the energy of that Five of Pentacles right there. That begins on about April 20th to about April 30th or 31st. I don't remember if there's 30 or 31 days in April. Okay, Five of Swords would be the fixed air sign of the zodiac, so that would be the beginning of Aquarius. So you're looking at the energy of like when as soon as Capricorn season's over, January 21st to January 31st. And then the Five of Wands would be that fixed fire sign of the zodiac, Leo. So about July 21st to July 30th or 31st, depending on if there is 30 or 31 days in the sign. So those fixed signs, you know, they have stubborn energy, they have fixed energy, you know, they're in the middle of the seasons. So it's difficult sometimes to let go of that negativity. And maybe that's why all of these fives of the minor arcana are a little bit negative, because he's fixed, he's focused on what's been lost. They're focused on, they can't even see the good that remains because they're so focused on being down on their luck and fearing that, letting that anxiety and worry make them think that there's only that left. You've been a victim so many times in your life, you know, your mindset is, that's all I'm going to be. You're fixated on it. You're stuck on it. You're stubborn on it. When you can transform that mind, change that mindset, and to believe that you are the victor of your story. And you know, the Leo energy with the Five of Wands, everybody wants to shine. Those Leo energies are the showmen of the zodiac. Of course they want to take what they've learned. They want to be the best they can possibly be. And that can be a conflict of immaturity. That can be, you know, everybody wanting to follow their own passions and be the best at it. So we have to change those mindsets. We have to change those feelings that we're not good enough and that we're always going to be down on our luck. And we have to stop looking at the bad and not learning what it has to teach us in order to change and transform our lives for the better and become the leaders of our stories. I'm going to set these up here. They're all kind of negative, aren't they? I don't know which one to like leave in the front. There we go. I'll just leave the Five of Wands up there because it's kind of more positive than the others, I suppose. Now we'll see the members of the court that are numerically connected to the number 5. They're connected to that energy of temperance there. You know, 14, 1 and 4 equals 5. And the leader of the court, the masculine leader of the court, after we meet the queens, are the kings. The King of Cups, the King of Pentacles, the King of Swords, and the King of Wands. Now, I say these are connected to the 14 because that's how the numerical sequence goes. You meet the 10 leaves, you got the 11. That's the page. You've got the 12. That's the knight. The 13 we talked about in the last video that I did like this. That's the queen. So we have all of that energy that leads us to this king. You know, begin seeing yourself as the strong foundation that you are, and you can begin changing and transforming your life for the better. The King of Cups, you see, those emotions aren't bothering him anymore. Those emotions aren't holding him back. He's felt sad before. He's felt negative before. You know, he's lost some things in his past. He's had those negative emotions that wanted to bring him down, but he's risen above it. Just as we said with temperance. See, temperance still has a little bit of themselves in those emotions. Even if you look closely at the foot of the king right here, his foot's almost in that water. It's like he's brought it up out of it so that he can think clearly and let his heart lead in the present. And if you'll notice, if you look very closely right here, you can see there's actually nothing in his cup, just like there's nothing in these cups over here, which shows that future potential, you know, when you let your heart lead, when you let the song of your soul take control and let that melody lead you to creating a life that you truly love and enjoy, then you're going to be able to transform your life into that one you love and enjoy, because you're not letting those emotions hold you back. Now, the King of Cups, fixed energy, relates to the kings of the court as well. So the King of Cups absolutely relates to the zodiac sign of Scorpio as well. You're not letting go. When you let go of those experiences of the past, when you look away from it, and you're able to see the potential that still remains, then you absolutely can lead a life that you love and enjoy and change and transform your life in the process. So the kings, because they have that confidence, they have that wisdom, they have those experiences of the past, they have what it takes to change and transform their lives into the ones they want to live. The King of Pentacles is also astrologically connected to Taurus, just like that 5 of Pentacles we met. The 6 of Pentacles and 7 of Pentacles connect to that energy of Taurus as well, sharing his character carrying card is the 6. Having patience with our projects and the process and everything like that is the 7. But that King of Pentacles, he had that experience of the 5. He had that loss, that financial loss. But look at him now. He's creating, that yellow in the background shows that creative potential that he has to take his knowledge and wisdom, change and transform his life, and become successful, to appreciate all those fruits of his labor, because he's learned from those experiences, which is what we began with. I called the Hierophant the teacher of the tarot. Those experiences, 1, 2, 3, 4, all those beginnings, all of those choices, all the times we let our hearts lead in the past, all the things that we created on those strong foundations that we were a part of, all of those are lessons that we can utilize in order to transform our lives for the better, to become those successful people that we need to be, those successful leaders that we need to be in order to transform our lives into the ones that we're comfortable with, the earthly existence that we want to live, and the emotionally fulfilling lives we want to live as well. The King of Swords, he's the logical one. He's astrologically connected to Aquarius, the fixed air sign. He's logical, he's intuitive, he's very, very wise, because he's experienced these things too. Think about the whole sequence of the suit of the mind. None of it, I'd say the only one that's truly positive of the, there's two actually, of the minor arcana of the sword suit that are actually positive, and that would be the ace, because it's the the logical idea, the aha card of the tarot. That's that light bulb going off when you take a good idea. 2 of Swords can be kind of positive, I guess, because you're taking the time to look within. 3 is the heartbreak and betrayal. 4 is the rest and reflection. 5 is that, or was it? There. 5 is that I've been a victor in the past, or victim in the past, and it's time to get humility if I was a victor, or start seeing yourself as the victor stop seeing yourself as the victim of your story and start seeing yourself as the victor. And then that 6 is one of the more positive ones, because it shows that peace and harmony when you find that clarity of your mind, when you're able to see yourself as that victor. 7, that is the thief card. 8 is the prisoner of your mind. 9 is lying awake and worrying about what the future might hold, and 10 is just wanting to give up. So not a positive suit. Those experiences, that made him want to give up. If you look at his face, he looks kind of sad anyways, doesn't he? He doesn't look in control at all. He doesn't look happy or thrilled, because he had to let those emotions go, those negative feelings. That's why I always relate the King of Swords to the Vulcans of the Star Trek universe, because they were passionate in the past. They had emotions, but that caused them to act out, that caused them to kill one another, fight amongst each other. Energy of that 5 of Wands there, fighting amongst each other, because everybody, wants to follow their passion and has emotions that lead them, like the King of Cups. But the King of Swords, he leads with logic. He reminds us sometimes, if we want to change and transform our lives and be that strong foundation and see ourselves as that strong foundation, then we need to take logic and let logic lead us as much as anything else. Now, the King of Wands, he's that astrological correspondence to Leo, the showman of the zodiac, as I said earlier. And that energy of that king is he's been around the world. He's seen the world. He's that teacher, that inspiration, that passion that inspires others to, take control, to let their passions lead. That little salamander down there in the corner, salamanders shed their skin. Salamanders lose pieces of themselves and they grow it back. So that energy right there, even right back here and everything, shows all those things that didn't hold him back, all those experiences that he has under his belt, gives him that teacher, that wisdom energy that he needs to change and transform his life now. So, the 14 of Temperance right here, the 14 of this king, the 14 of the King of Pentacles, 14 of the King of Swords, 14 of the King of Wands, shows that when we begin seeing ourselves as those strong foundations, when we take that knowledge and we apply it to the path ahead, tempering our doubt and taking all of that wisdom with us, then we absolutely can be the teachers of our stories and change and transform our lives for the better. Just like the 5s up here. Don't have that mindset that you're just going to have much of the same and you're always going to be pouring down on your luck. Change the mindset. Change that thought process and believe that you can be successful. And let life be your teacher, look up to somebody, find somebody that can help you if you need to. Don't have that immaturity in everything, fighting with other people. Learn from those experiences so that you can lead. He was likely one of these characters at one point, fighting amongst all these people, but now he's made it. He let those people go. He let those immature feelings go. He's confident now. He's in control and he has that wisdom. All of these experiences, the things that just we couldn't let go of, the past that just held us back and brought us down, when we're able to look away from it, we're able to focus on those cups and what we want to fill them up with, then we absolutely can begin again. We can take our knowledge and we can transform our lives into the ones that we love, the ones that make us feel comfortable and safe, the ones that make logical sense to us, and the ones that make that fire within us burn brightly too. So never forget that no matter what your past was, whatever you have experienced, you can take that knowledge and wisdom with you and you can use that to transform your life now, to transform your life, your future into the one that you truly want to live. This deck is the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot. If you are interested in purchasing it for your own collection, I'll put a link in the description below if you want to do that. If you want a reading with this deck or any of the decks in my collection, feel free to comment on this video, message me on the socials, or book one directly on my website. All of that will be in the link in the description below. I think I can just leave it at that. You have all the energy of the fives. You have that strong, confident mind of yours. You have that heart that sings. You have that ability to feel grounded and focused on what you want. See yourself as that strong foundation and think logically and let that inner fire lead you as well. Then you're absolutely capable of changing and transforming your life into anything that you want. As always, I want to thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. I'll scoop all of these cards up. Let's look away from the sadness and look away towards that 6, 7, 8, 9, that future, and start seeing ourselves as the strong foundations that we can be, changing our mindsets to believe that we can absolutely be the victors of our story. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again in the next one.